Hello, hello, everybody. Shalee Super here. Waiting for a couple people to hop on for the Instagram 2021 best practices. Okay, so I'll just go into a little snippet about what we're going to cover today. So really, it's going to be all about Instagram. I could honestly spend a week talking about Instagram and not cover it. So this is going to go over really just the basics of some best practices in 2021. Instagram's always changing. Social media is always changing. What Instagram wanted you to do a year ago, it's not what Instagram wants you to do today. So, we're going to go over all of that. Hi, David. Thank you for joining the live chat. I see your comment. If you guys have questions at all during this presentation, feel free to drop it in the live chat. I will be keeping an eye on that, answering any questions you guys have on Instagram. I do have a PowerPoint presentation that we'll be going over, just kind of going over everything. And this will also be recorded and put on YouTube later. So anything that you want to go back and reference later on, it will be live on our Send It Rising YouTube channel. And you can check it out and revisit all the information I'm sharing today on the YouTube. Okay, so I'm just going to hop right into it. Again, there's a lot of information here to cover. I could talk about it all day, but happy to share anything I can and answer any questions along the way. Okay. Should be able to see my screen now. All right. Okay, so really growing your Instagram, that's really what we're going to be talking about here. A little bit of a background on me. So hi, everyone. I'm Shalee Super. If you're with me on Instagram, you probably see that I still have my maiden name up there, Shalee Blackmer. Same person, just recently married. So nice to meet you guys. I am here with Send It Rising. I've been working with Send It Rising for 4 years now, 4 years. So I've been with the Send It Rising team. We cover all aspects of internet marketing. I'm the content and social media director here at Send It Rising. I'm also the owner of Shalee Wanders, where I run a travel blog, photography, writing, business. I do a little bit of everything kind of in the travel realm there. I'm also a content creator for a lot of different brands. I am an influencer, micro-influencer on Instagram, and I have a lot of other social platforms, especially my blog that I work with companies and brands to create content in on a regular basis. I'm also a mother of hiking cats. I have 2 cats that I love very much, and we go on lots of adventures together. They love to hike. I actually threw a couple pictures of them in here because I know people don't want to see me. They want to see my cats most of the time. Okay, so a little bit more about me. I've been working in the industry, really the content creation industry for the last 7 years, the social media industry, all of that. I have over 100,000 cumulative followers on across a bunch of different platforms. So there's my blog, which is shaleewanders.com. Again, that was started 7, 8 years ago now, so it's been quite a bit. Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and Facebook are kind of my top social media platforms. Instagram, even though Instagram is not my biggest following, it has garnered me the most opportunities and revenue working as a content creator. All of my stuff, I've been featured in Forbes, Travel and Leisure, USA Today, and really most of those companies found me through Instagram, even though, I have about 11,000 followers on Instagram. I don't even have 100,000 or anything like that, but it has still been a really great revenue driver and done a lot for my personal brand as well. I'm gonna hop in here. Okay, so Caroline, I saw asked about how did I get into content creation. So it's kind of a funny story. I was in college. I was in that college phase where I didn't know what I wanted to do. But I knew I really loved traveling. I lived and grew up in Michigan. I really found around when I was like 18 years old, what a cool state I lived in. And I just kind of started traveling in my car and sleeping in my car with friends and camping on the beach and having bonfires. And then eventually it kind of went from just traveling in Michigan and exploring there to finding cheap flights and booking random trips across the country and then some international trips. I come from a very, very small town where no one ever really traveled that much. So I started having my Facebook friends asking me questions on how I could afford to travel, how they can travel. And I really wanted to try to inspire some other people from my very small hometown that they can go out and explore and they can find cheap flights. And one night I went to my roommate in college and I said, hey, I'm thinking about starting a travel blog. She was like, that's a great idea. I think you should think on it and really decide what you want to name it and what you want your blog to be about. And I was like, okay, great. And then I came to her the next day and I was like, so I started the travel blog. No plan whatsoever. And then it just kind of evolved from there. I combined my love of writing and my love of photography into my blog. And then I started the Instagram account where I started showcasing all of my photos. And then it just kind of went from there. My readership grew on my blog, my following grew on my social media channels. And now here I am. So kind of fun, random story. Didn't really plan on it to happen, but it's pretty cool that it did. And I love everything about it. And now sharing what I've learned, because I know when I started, I was very lost and I didn't know what I was doing. So I know what it's like to have this at your fingertips, but not quite sure how to utilize it, which is why now I enjoy so much helping everyone else. Okay, so hopping into Instagram. Really, Instagram is the world's 5th most used social media platform. If you're a business owner, even if you're not a business owner, there's a good chance you have heard of Instagram. Instagram is more than just pictures. It really is a top platform for public relations, brand awareness, and generating a loyal consumer base. It really is where the term influencer was born. I know you hear that term a lot nowadays as well, and it's one of the top ways that brands can establish and enhance their online brand. Really looking at what consumers do today, they look and they want to see the face and they want to connect with the business that they're going to purchase from or do business with. Instagram kind of bridges that gap. So, as a business owner, or even if you're not a business owner, you're more than just like a faceless Instagram account or business. Instagram really narrows that gap between the business and consumer, and it's one of the top platforms to generate that loyal consumer base. There are so many businesses out there that have become successful and grown into, $1 million companies just by utilizing Instagram and the tools in the right way. Okay, so this training will not make you successful on Instagram. I know that sounds funny, but I could give you all the tools in the world, but the most important thing you have to do on Instagram is you've got to be you. So I could give you all of the tools, but if you don't take them and just really be yourself and let your personality shine through on Instagram, that's the most important thing. The trainings are a great place to start, and I can give you lots of good information, but really the most important thing is just be yourself. Don't try to copy any other account on Instagram. If someone's already doing it and being successful at it, people are following them for that reason. Being unique and just standing out is one of the most important aspects. Okay, biggest Instagram mistakes. This is something that I definitely wanted to cover because there is a lot of things that people think is the right thing to do on Instagram, but it actually can hurt their account. And it's just something that a lot of people don't know is hurting you until you understand why. So some of the most common mistakes businesses make on Instagram include not allocating enough hours to engagement. So, liking other people's posts, replying to comments, replying to DMs, all of that good stuff. And I'll go a bit more into each of these topics a little bit down the road. Hiring cheap social media companies that don't garner results. As someone who has worked in an internet marketing and social media company, I have heard time and time again, I hired this company and paid them $200 a month and got screwed over. Yes, that does not surprise me at all, to be honest. Social media, there's a lot of people out there, everyone knows social media. Everyone can post to Instagram, but there's a difference between posting to Instagram and putting in all of the other aspects and understanding how really to be successful on Instagram and growing that business. Publishing graphics and stock photos, too many of those can actually harm an account, especially stock photos. And again, I'll go into that a little bit more, but graphics can be great if they're super rich and in-depth. If you want to hop over to the Send It Rising Instagram, you can see that we're doing like really in-depth, visually graphic sliders. Those perform really well, but if you're just throwing like a quick little Canva graphic on there that really gives no information, that can actually harm your account. Never showing the face behind the brand. This is a big one. Again, it's all about that human connection. If you're not showing who it is behind the corporation, people are going to have a hard time connecting and finding a reason to follow and engage with you as a brand. Only posting static images. So as we know, Instagram is no longer just a photo sharing platform. They have reels, they have stories, you can post carousel posts. There's a whole wide range of things that you can do. So if all you're doing is you're going on your account and you're just posting one image every time, that can end up hurting you. Whenever Instagram introduces a new feature, it wants you to utilize that feature. Focusing on likes. Again, a lot of people think likes are the most important thing. A lot of people focused on just getting the most likes, especially 5-6 years ago when Instagram was still relatively new. Now it is important, but it's not the most important thing, and we'll get into what is the most important thing later on. And misusing hashtags. Hashtags are great. They are highly encouraged on Instagram in a lot of ways, but there's also some ways that you use them that can either shadow ban your account or end up hurting your account. Okay, let me just hop over, see if, okay, perfect. All right, so it's 2021 and people are really good at calling out BS on social media platforms. This is a really big and important one. See the stock photo that I added on the slide, you probably knew right away that it is a stock image. It's kind of one of those classic posed stock images that can be great for certain aspects of marketing, but it's not always the best thing to use for social media. Really, you should be investing in your own imagery, hiring in-house social media managers. Even if you've hired an outside social media company like Send It Rising, it's really a team effort to have a successful Instagram account and actively engaging on the platform. Think about if you were using Instagram and you went to someone's account and the entire feed was stock photos. What would you think about that account? Would you be worried that it was a scam? Would you, be more likely to buy from a competitor who actually had images and stories that actually showed their team? I think of it a lot like how I engage with brands on Instagram. As a consumer, we can usually tell if you've hired a company to run your Instagram 100%, and most of the time people don't like it. And that's what I'm really going to hit hard. You should definitely always consider working with a company for social media. But if you just are like, okay, here, use stock photos and run it 100%, that can actually, again, end up hurting your account more than helping it. And this is where I kind of get into the right way to do it. Again, we're an internet marketing company. We've run so many social media campaigns. And social media companies should assist with social media programs and trainings, but it should, again, be a team effort, especially if you aren't sending them assets on a weekly basis. If you have hired a company, it's going to be, we're not there in the office with you. We're not there understanding your company culture all the time. If you guys have a Taco Tuesday where your whole entire office goes out and gets tacos every Tuesday night, that is great. But as the social media managers, we aren't there with you to capture those behind the scenes, to share the stories, to share to your followers that you guys are a fun company and this is your company culture and you guys work really well together as a team. If you hire a social media company to assist with the account, it should always be a team effort. And this is something I always stress. Anytime I'm talking to a client or a potential client and we're talking about Instagram, I always say that this is going to be a team effort. Even though we're working together and we are working on your Instagram, there is still going to be things that we need to talk about and assets you're going to need to send us, or else we're going to be stuck. If we don't have assets from the clients, then that's where we run into issues of stock images and graphics and, all of that stuff that can actually end up harming an account. So It's great, 100% recommend working with a social media company in the form of trainings or helping support Instagram and social media channels. But again, if you just go out and throw $200 at a social media company and say, oh, just post whatever, and then never send them photos, and it's basically stock photos on the account, that can end up hurting the account more than helping. Okay, Instagram is not just about images anymore. Again, I mentioned this in the beginning. It was once a photo sharing app. It's now a multimedia app. Whenever Instagram introduces a new feature, its algorithm just really wants you to use it. So again, if all you're doing right now is going to Instagram and you're just posting photos, your engagement rate is probably not great, because Instagram recently, in the last couple of years, they've introduced Reels, they've introduced IGTV Lives, all of these new features. And whenever it introduces one of those new features, it wants you to utilize them. So again, Reels is kind of the big one right now on Instagram that is more of a recent introduction. It's been around for a little bit now. It's basically Instagram's version of TikTok in a way, but it wants any account on there to utilize the Reels feature and share that content with their followers. So again, it used to be, just post pretty pictures. Now it's about, doing the stories, doing the carousel posts, doing the Reels and the Instagram Lives, and just kind of combining them all is really the perfect way to kind of hit all of those aspects and help grow your account. Okay, Instagram needs you to engage. This is such a big one, and I'm speaking from experience here. So if you don't engage at least an hour a day on Instagram, it's going to be tough to grow your account. The moment I stopped actively engaging on my Instagram when I was growing it is the moment it stopped growing. Engaging also means researching and staying on top of trends. Again, what Instagram was doing a year ago is not what it wants you to do now. It's always evolving. It's always changing. Social media in general is always evolving and changing. I have 11,000 followers on Instagram. I've been at 11,000 followers on Instagram for probably 3 years now, because 2-ish years ago, something like that, I stopped putting that at least an hour a day into engagement, liking other posts, replying to DMs, viewing other people's stories, talking to my followers, all of that on a daily basis for over an hour. My Instagram really hasn't grown since, because I'm not staying on top of those trends and everything that Instagram wants me to do. So this is why Instagram is a team effort. I can't stress this next part enough. If you've hired or if you're thinking about hiring a social media company, you should ask these questions. Does the price include any engagement hours? That's one of the big things. I just said that if you aren't engaging on Instagram, it's going to be really hard to grow. We can post all we want, but if there's no one there engaging with other people on the platform, it's really, really hard to incorporate that and grow it. Do you expect your team to reply to comments and messages, interact with other posts, and post stories? Again, I see this all the time in the social media industry. I'll be talking to someone who had hired another social media company, and I say, okay, do you know if they reply to DMs for you? And do you know if they reply to comments, or do they like other posts for you? And a lot of the times the answer is, I don't know. And it's not a bad I don't know. It's just something that unless you work in social media, you probably don't think to ask. So it's always important to ask that question as well. And how many hours dedicated toward Instagram growth are included in the package? That's also a very, very important one, because again, a $200 social media or a $400 social media program probably includes 0 hours dedicated to growth and engagement. So that means, again, they're probably throwing a couple of posts out there, but there could be a lot more incorporated. If your team's not doing it, that means it's not happening at all, and the engagement rate on your account is pretty low. Okay. Let me make sure there's no questions here. Okay, does liking other people's posts help get more followers? Yes, 100%. So liking other people's photos is an aspect of engagement. So liking other people's photos, commenting on other people's photos, replying to other people's stickers or posting a story where you do like the ask me a question sticker or the yes or no poll. All of that helps. It's, liking is definitely a good one. Commenting is very, very important. Posting stories that get people to engage and replying to other people's stories, all of that, commenting on reels, sharing that, all of those really help grow followers and increase that engagement rate. Basically, what you're doing is if all you do is post to Instagram and you're not engaging with anyone else, Instagram's algorithm is going to see that and it's going to be like, okay, this person isn't engaged on the platform. They're not dedicated to the platform, so I'm not going to show their content to more people. If it just looks like if it sees your activity on Instagram is 10 minutes a day and that 10 minutes was to post a reel or just make a post and you spent no other time on the app engaging with other people, Instagram will punish you for that and show your content to less people. Yep. Okay, the next one is your face is your brand. Anyone can go on the internet nowadays, create a simple website, and set up an Instagram account. So really what Instagram does, whether you're working for a major corporation, a bigwig, or you're just a small local salon, your Instagram account needs to showcase the employees, needs to showcase who you are, needs to show who the owner is. As much as you can show of your company culture and your team, the better. This doesn't just have to be, every post you post doesn't have to be like a team member or something like that. It can also go, behind the scenes in the stories. I always recommend that. Again, like you might not want Taco Tuesday to be a full post or a full reel. It's a great story to put up and it showcases your team. Posts, reels, all of that, anything you can do to include other people in the company or just showcase who you are is a major, major plus. Your face really is your brand. And buyers make decisions based on connections. I will tell you right now, if two companies are selling the same product and one account has stock images and the other has a video of the office's pet hamster, I will go with the person who had the pet hamster time and time again, because there's just that, you see that they're real humans. You see that there's a connection there. The cute hamster is probably going to sell someone like me who buys things off of how cute the hamster is or how pretty the wine label is, anything like that. So, when you talk to most consumers, they will tell you the same answer. If they had two accounts side by side and one is stock images and never posts stories and never interacts with others on the platform, and one is really, really good at showcasing their employees and who they are as a brand, people are going to go with that one time and time again. Okay, likes don't matter as much as they used to. Of course, every 6 years ago, everyone cared about how many likes their Instagram post received. Over the years, as Instagram has introduced more features and ways to interact, engagement rates are now the most important aspect of your profile. So, there's still some people out there who are concerned with the amount of likes they get, but really the number one thing that people should take into consideration when gauging if their Instagram is successful is their engagement rate. So engagement counts as any type of interaction, from comments to saves to taps on a sticker question. As a business owner, you should be focused on who is interacting with your posts and how they interact. Anything above 4% is considered a strong engagement rate. So really, it ranges. The smaller followers you have, as your account grows, your engagement rate will drop a little bit. But anything over 4% is considered a strong engagement rate. There are plenty of free tools out there. You can, go to Google and you can type in, Instagram engagement calculator, and you can get your engagement rate on your account right now within 5 minutes. Unfortunately, again, 5-6 years ago, when Instagram was a little newer, and buying followers was a pretty popular thing to do for a lot of people trying to grow their account. We all know that buying followers now on Instagram is a big, big no-no. Instagram will punish you for it. Those who bought followers in the past, a lot of those followers are fake followers, and likely there'll be an engagement rate below 1%. You can fix that over time as you get more real followers onto your account. But let's say, you bought 15,000 followers and you have a total of 18,000 followers And even if you bought those followers 5-6 years ago and you regret it now, it is probably affecting your engagement rate. That is something that was a popular trend a little while ago, and Instagram cracked down on that quite hard. And it's now punishing those people who did buy those followers because their engagement rate is not where it should be. Okay. Yes, great question. How many times should you post to Instagram a day? And should we post every day, including weekends? That is a great question. So, and this one has kind of changed recently too. Again, 2 years ago, people were recommending businesses to post every day or maybe even more than one time a day. Right now, Instagram really says quality over quantity. That's the direction it's moving in. So, no longer do you need to post every single day. No longer do you need to post on weekends. 4-5 times a week is perfectly fine because Instagram would rather you have produced content that's really, really rich, that is a fantastic and really good reel that's edited and has captions, or a photo with a nice long story in it, instead of just, here's a photo for a day with a one-line caption, here's a photo again in the afternoon with another one-line caption. It really is quality over quantity nowadays on Instagram. So no, my answer would be you do not need to post every single day in order to be successful on Instagram. I would say 4 to 5 times a week if you're actively growing your account, really 5 times a week if you're really trying to get that growth. And just focus on the quality of what you're posting. Post on your feed and then add a story saying, hey, we just posted something on our feed, and then maybe do a reel in a couple of days where, you spend some time on that reel and you make sure that reel is the quality that you want and the quality that's going to garner those followers. So yes, that is my answer. Again, 2 years ago, I probably would have told you something different, but that is the direction that Instagram is moving in. Okay, saves and likes. So instead of likes, focus on posting content that will get you saved. And this goes right hand in hand with your question, that the quality over quantity matters. So saves are one of the most important aspects for increasing engagement and growing your account in 2021. More saves means more likes, more comments, more followers, more growth. The save is this little flag right here. You can see I highlighted it on this image of my cat. When people see something that either they want to reference in the future, maybe they want to share with their friends or share with their family later, they'll hit that flag and it saves to what Instagram calls their collection. So saves are more important than likes. The more saves you get on a post, the more likely you're to show up on that Explore tab on Instagram, which is one of the best ways to get followers. The Explore tab is kind of like featured photos that are doing really well, that a lot of people are engaging with, and that Instagram's algorithm uses to see that you might be interested in. So for example, I interact with a lot of cat photos on the internet. And so when there's an image that someone posts and a lot of people are interacting with that cat photo, it's going to show up in my Explore tab on Instagram. The more saves you get, the more Instagram is like, oh, okay, this is a cool post. People are interacting with it. People want to see it. Let's bump it up to the top of people's feeds. Let's put it on the Explore page. And really, that's why it's more important than likes, because it's one of those growth aspects. When you get saves, you get the followers, you get the growth. And that's why the quality matters. If you post a really intriguing caption with a lot of questions that make people think, or a how-to video that people are going to want to reference later, that's the kind of content that people are going to want to save and reference in the future. If I just posted this picture of my cat and my caption was, "This is my cat," it's probably going to get less saves because it doesn't really have a ton of information besides being like a cute cat photo that people are going to be referencing in the future. So providing information and insight that people are going to want to save and reference back to is definitely very, very important in 2021. Okay, this is only the beginning. I know I've covered a lot here. A full presentation on Instagram and growing your business on social media would take an entire day of me talking your ear off on this live. There's so much to go over. If you would like to discuss or set up trainings to learn more about Instagram or other social media channels, you can always email me. This is my direct email here with Send It Rising. Further pieces of training include, I do trainings just on saved posts and hashtags because they're so important on Instagram. So, those are our trainings just on those two topics. Reels and lives, same thing. I could do entire presentations just on those two and what it means for Instagram. Guides to engagement. We all know now how important engagement is on Instagram. So there's more deep dives into that. And then also, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever social channels, we cover all of that. So there's a lot of information I packed into this, but it is some of the most important information for 2021. And again, feel free to reach out. This is our website, senditrising.com. You can visit that. You can look at some of what we offer in the social media world, or feel free. My inbox, my email is an open book. So email me something if you have any questions or just want to connect after this, and I would be happy to hop on and chat with you. And that is really it. I will hop back over here and see what else we have for questions. Jim and Kellen says, is it a good strategy to follow a bunch of people hoping they will follow you back? Yes and no. That is a great question. And I will say both yes and no. If you spam it too much, if you follow too many accounts at once, Instagram's algorithm could potentially flag your account as spam, because when you go and you just go follow, like all in a row, it could flag your account as spam and then shadow ban you, which basically means it drops your engagement and thinks you're a spam account. It's not the end of the world if you get shadow banned. I've been shadow banned. Basically, every content creator out there has been shadow banned at least once in their lives. You will get unshadow banned eventually. It just is a little annoying when it happens. So I definitely say, don't go out there and follow 100 accounts a day at the same time because it could end up hurting. But yes, following relevant accounts to you also tells, I run a travel account on Instagram. I will go and I will follow accounts that I thoroughly enjoy that are other travel accounts, because again, it tells Instagram's algorithm that I'm also probably a travel account and will show my stuff to people who are interested in travel on the platform. So I definitely recommend, follow people you are genuinely interested in their content, but don't overdo it because it could actually come back and backfire. Okay, and then Kellen asked, what would prompt someone to save something over liking it? Great question. And that is really information. So again, when I think of what I save on Instagram, if someone posts a really pretty picture of a sunset and a beach, I'm probably going to like it. But if they post that picture of a sunset and a beach and they say, what a beautiful sunset on the Key West of Florida, and they tag the location of the island, I'm probably going to save that, because if I'm ever in the area, I will go back to that post. I will see that it's saved in my collection, and I will know exactly, I will say, okay, I wanted to go here on my trip. So I have that saved. A lot of people do it with how-to videos. So, if I was doing a reel for Send It Rising, I would do, a 30-second how to optimize your Google My Business. That's going to get people to save because it's information they want to reference in the future. That's going to create more saves than just doing a post being like, hey, we're an internet marketing company and we do Google My Business. So those are kind of the difference. If it doesn't give information that people aren't going to want to reference in the future or give them or teach them something, it's more likely just to get a like over a save. All right, I hope that makes sense. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat here. Again, lots of good questions here. I know Instagram is a beast to talk about, and there is a lot to talk about. So we can, hey, how are you?
Hey, everybody. Kellen Kautzman here. Just wanted to say thank you to Shalee for knocking this out. Excellent job, as always.
Thank you.
And I just want to let folks know that after the fact, many folks aren't listening to us live. If you're checking us out on YouTube, just leave a comment. As Shalee mentioned earlier, Shalee@senditrising.com is a great way to reach out to us. You can also reach out to us at info@senditrising.com. Instagram's a beast. We will be doing more of these trainings in the future. So if there's anything that you want to hear from us, we take requests. We're like that guy with the acoustic guitar in the bar who's like, and the one dude's like, Freebird. We'll play Freebird if you want Freebird. Just saying, just throwing that out there. So yes, so that's pretty much it. Shalee, do you have any other thoughts for the fine folks before we wrap this one up?
Nope. Thanks everyone for tuning in and hopping on and chatting with me on Instagram.
Cool. All right. Thanks everybody.
Okay, awesome. Thanks guys.